Hi, welcome to the Vergas Show. I'm Sherri Hanson. Thanks for joining me today. I'm here with Jill Huffman. Thank you, Jill, for joining me today. We are in the Vergas City office. Some of you might not have been into the city office before, but the reason that we're in here is this is going to be a temporary or a once-in-a-while place that Jill is going to land herself so that she can do some work to promote the city of Vergas. The Vergas Community Club has just hired Jill on as their, what do we call you, tourism director?
Yes, at this point, that's the name.
The name
we haven't figured out the perfect name, but that is what I will be working on.
Okay, you'll be working on tourism. And so the Community Club, I'm sure you're familiar with, is a volunteer organization within the community of Vergas. And when I say community of Vergas, we're talking not just the city, right? We saw we needed some help, and so we brought Jill on board. And Jill, tell me what's your job title? What are you going to be doing?
So the main thing to start would be the concerns of the most active members were we have other jobs, we have other things we need to do. Mm-hmm. We own businesses and we have jobs. So what I will do would be a person who could help all of the area newspapers, publications, things like that, get information to them timely, and it would all be consistent. And that's
you're going to be like a go-to person, aren't you?
Yes, I will be the go-to person for questions. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of things that I need to get my arms around yet.
Right.
But I want to have all of the information in one spot. I've already worked with the Pelican Rapids Press this week to get our a current list of events, from the Fireman's Breakfast, which is a fundraiser for them. It's very important we support our people in that group. We've got blood drives. We have Halloween parties, Looney Days.
You know, so often people think that Vergas and the Community Club, what they do is just Looney Days, and we're so much more than that. Well, let's start at the beginning, Jill. You have a full-time job, right?
I work in Detroit Lakes right now, Monday through Friday, 8 to 5.
Right. And so we brought Jill on board, hoping for those extra hours, after 8 to 5. So here again, it's somebody that already is putting in that number of hours. And so we're not just leaving her out there as the only person. There is a community club that is going to help her, and we also need volunteers on the community club, right?
Yes, actually, we're going to try a membership drive again, and we're not just looking for the businessmen.
No,
we're looking for the people who really have their heart here and would like to volunteer every now and again. Everybody seems to think that I'll just organize every event, and that's not really what my job will be. My job will be to oversee chair people.
We're still going to need chair people for Looney Days. We're still going to need chair people for Maple Syrup Fest. We're still going to need those people. It's just going to be there's one person to ask
if there's issues,
how we find out or where to go or whatever, and you will be that person to oversee it. So we need you if you are interested in helping the community of Vergas thrive. We still need you to be on the community club. We still need you to be a part of that, and it's not saying that you have to organize an event or be a chairperson. Maybe you can only work for a couple hours.
We need hours of time. Mm-hmm. We could use an hour of time.
Right.
Most definitely, especially on our bigger events. We've got Jim Jensen does the 12-mile diabetes run. There's volunteers needed for less than 2 hours to make sure all the runners have water and that all is okay on their point of the run. There's just some things that could be done that are not going to make you be responsible for the whole entire event.
What's your vision for bringing people? How do you plan to bring more people to Vergas?
Well, I think the main thing, I went to a tourism conference yesterday, and it really, really put things in perspective.
So it reined you in a little bit.
Yeah, because so many people are like, let's do this, let's do this, let's do that, let's do this, and that would be fabulous, but it's all a lot of money.
And reality of time and people.
Yes, so right now, I would like to probably work with just some major publications with proven track records and start there.
So you're looking at like Minnesota Explorer?
Yep, the gentleman from Minnesota Explorer has been fabulous.
Good.
So I really want to get more information from him. I also got some of the tidbits from him on how many times that site gets hit. We can't go wrong.
No. Speaking of sites, our website, we're going to be working on getting that up and running too, aren't we?
So far, I have ideas. I've got our new list of events. I will always take information to be added to the list of events. So you can email me at visitvergas@yahoo.com. And any of the resort owners, they could email me. I certainly have not met or made a contact with all of them yet.
No, that's a good point, because that visitvergas@yahoo.com is the new email address that you're going to be able to get a hold of Jill at. If you, that's going to be a contact for anything. If you want to be a volunteer, if you want to figure out how do I promote my business more, or how can I get some of these brochures out, how do I get on a mailing list, how do I know what's going on in Vergas?
The goal also is by the original date was May 1st. I am running out of time, so I'm still working on May 1st, but by the first week of May, I do have an email list, and I am sending out a monthly newsletter of what's going on in town.
Oh, that's going to be so nice. You know, there's nothing better than just being able to know that, hey, there's this kind of meeting going on, you know, if you can make it, and then people can put that. And
even summer hours of some of our businesses. We've got some who just, you know, the Quiet Cricket and Coco's will be expanding their hours now. Eagle's Best will be opening because they are seasonal. And a lot of these things people don't know.
No, and that's a nice place to be able to
I only have about 100 people on my email list,
so
that's
I
could
very
use
many
more.
Yes, you could use more.
So please email me if you want on.
Well, Jill, I know that you came on board, and when we were looking at this through the community club, it was like, oh, don't you remember the awesome job Jill Huffman did on the Vergas Centennial? What kind of experience are you going to bring from doing the Vergas Centennial? Because it was a success, and it was because of you being our leader of the SIP.
I think the big thing that I learned from the Centennial was planning and people. And actually at our tourism conference yesterday, I had a gentleman from the Steam Threshers reunion. Yep.
Roll-on?
Wow.
They plan.
They plan years in advance. They think of things years in advance. They take volunteerism all year long. And it's the people.
It is.
So I guess that's kind of how I felt about the Centennial. You were in charge, you worked with me, you were in charge of the book. Right. That was yours. I didn't have to worry about it except to find out when, where, and why. And that's kind of...
Well, and we started, 5 years ahead.
Yes, it was 5 years ahead of time, 1999 to 2004.
So when you start and think about that, but it's just a lot of, and I think consistency. And that's what I'm just so excited about, the fact that, Jill, that you're going to be on board with the community club, having that consistency of just one person they know that they can get that information to. It's not saying that you're going to have to do it, it's just saying that you're going to know who it goes to.
I've actually had a few people approach me about some really neat events.
Wonderful.
That they've been to in other places. They thought it would be something fun for our community. So I've had people email me some business cards, some of their experiences with events. I'll be suggesting them. We do have a fundraiser that's coming up for the Vergas Event Center now in September.
Right, okay.
And I don't know if they need ideas, but I really think that we could change things up, especially on the idea of a benefit.
Wonderful. Well, I know that there's an opening. There's a spot for you on the Vergas Community Club, and we're going to be having a membership meeting, getting that together.
Next
week. So watch for that. So, welcome aboard, Jill.
Thank you.
It's going to be great promoting Vergas together.
I definitely have a passion for my town.
Yes, you do. You have a good day in Vergas.